Good morning! It's April the 4th, and it's the 4th day of the 30-day guitar challenge. Sure.
Guitar
challenge. Let's turn that down. Sure. All right, so I know we're live. Welcome to, well, normally the guitar show, but obviously this is the lockdown edition. Where we're going live every single day.
Lockdown edition.
Where we're going live
after that I can lockdown edition. Where we're going live after that I can lockdown edition. Where we're going live after that I can lockdown edition. Where we're going live after that I can lockdown edition. Where we're going live after that I can lockdown edition. Where we're going live after that I can lockdown edition. Where we're going
I know what it is. It's this. I know what it is. It's this. Hang in there with me, okay? Now, hang in there, all right? You guys hearing all that, aren't you? Shoot. Hang in there. Okay, are you hearing it anymore? It's cleared up. Let me know if it's cleared up, because I'm dealing with an iPhone here, okay? We all good? All good? Nope. Nope, good now. No? Perfect? Yes? No? Sounds good. Better? Good now. Yes? No? Yes, sounds normal now. All better. Yes, all's good. Cleared up. Okay, okay. All right, good. All right, I think we're good then. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, perfect. All right, it happens. Stuff like that happens. All right, so give me 2 seconds here, and let me get this back going. Let me tell you what we're doing, folks. If you don't know, you probably do, though, which is why you're here, and I appreciate you being here. This is day 4 of the 30-day guitar challenge. As soon as we heard that we were going to be doing this for 30 days, me and the crew said, let's do something for folks to keep their minds on things that are good, things that are positive, things that are beautiful. There's enough of the negativity or the stuff that might bring you down out there. So let's take some time here to uplift our spirits, whether that's working out, whether that's meditating, hopefully doing all these things, getting better at guitar, right? We have 30 days here in April. There's a 30-day lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it. It takes 21 to 30 days to establish a habit. The first 30 lessons in the Unstoppable Guitar System, which I'm giving you for free today, it's the second link below, should take you about 30 days. Actually, you could go through it in just a few days if you really wanted to. But what I said is that I was going to walk you through it for 2 hours every single day in the month of April, 30 days, and we would go through all these 30 lessons. Lots of 30s, okay, as well. And so you have all that for free for you today. The first link below is a PDF for you to download. This is only one page from it, but it's basically our curriculum for the rest of the month here, okay? There's a beginner lesson and there's an intermediate advanced lesson on here, okay? And we're gonna be going over that today. Below that, there's a link that'll bring you to UGS, where you can, number one, get into UGS Standard for free, or if you really want to go the distance and you're very serious about guitar, because you said, I heard you, the universe heard you when you said, if I only had time, I would learn how to play guitar. Well, now you got the time. You got no excuses, because I'm going to be with you for 30 days. You've got the free 30. And if you really want to dig in, you've got the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro with all of the jam tracks and all of the videos and everything else, over 1,000, not just with me, but with other instructors as well. And so that's all available for you for $1. Okay, you can get in there and test drive that for 30 days. So lots of 30s that we're talking about here, so we might as well, you know, as they say in the military, embrace the suck, we're here. So let's just have fun, man, seriously. Let's have fun. Today, which is day 4, and it also happens to be the 4th of April, funny how that works out, is that today we're going to be talking all about acoustic guitars for this first hour. And then at noon, I'm going to be doing an intermediate advanced lesson with you where I'm going to be talking about capos. And I swear to God, I just had one here a minute ago. I guess, oh yeah, it's on my guitar. Okay, good. We're going to talk about all about capos, the different types of capos, what they do, how they can help you, how they can exercise your hand when you're away from the guitar. What? Yeah, I'll show you. How you can use a capo to... oh, I'm looking out the window here. It's beautifully sunny outside right now, but my boy just he just tripped in the street. Oh, but my wife's out there with him, so he's okay. Poor buddy. Okay, so we're going to talk about capos. We're going to talk about how to use them in the studio, how to use them live, how to use them to change keys, how to use them to create multiple parts using the same chords, but in conjunction with the cage system to allow us to have a full spectrum of strummed guitars, picked guitars, whatever. This is going to blow your mind, and it's such an easy trick. People miss it. But you got to be shown how to do this, okay? So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, okay? All right. Oh, also, this is what we're going to be using today. You see this? This is the Capo key chart. I got this from, this is from the Unstoppable Guitar System, and basically it'll show you how to play in all the different keys. Like if you want to play in D sharp, and you're playing with the C feel, you may not know what that means, then you're going to capo at the 3rd fret, etc. So I'm going to talk to you about that in the second hour. It's going to be over some of your heads. That's okay, because all of this stuff you're going to learn step by step, okay? Now, before we begin, I want to address an email that I got this morning. Well, it was more of a comment on a YouTube video, and it said, I've tried to play guitar, and I couldn't, and you telling people that they can play guitar is a big ploy just to get people into your program, okay? Now, I appreciate the sparring, because I think everybody should be challenged. I appreciate that. Now, here's the deal. Number one, I've given way more lessons away than I have ever had people pay for lessons. I've given away lots and lots and lots of lessons. I mean, a dollar amount, millions of dollars worth of lessons easily, just to charity, but forget about all the free courses that I give out and what have you, okay? So that's not the reason. The reason that I say that anybody can play guitar is because anybody can play guitar. The reason this poor guy in his poor spirit, the way that he thinks, and I'm not making fun of him, I'm saying we all have this to some degree, is that people think, oh, I tried that and it didn't work, so I quit. Okay, so the day this guy didn't learn guitar is the day that he quit, not because he kept going and he got over the hurdles. I guarantee you, you're going to see comments from people, and tell me right now, was there a time in your playing where you thought, this is impossible, I'm not going to be able to get this, but then you kept persisting. Either you believed in me, you believed that what I said was true, or you believed in yourself and you did it. I found this stuff myself growing up. Other people, they need somebody to tell it. It doesn't matter where you get it from. And some people literally die. They go to the grave never realizing their full potential because they think that stuff's supposed to come to them like that. And it doesn't. Anything good doesn't just come to you like that, okay? So this poor sap is saying, you know, that he was not able to learn guitar. Well, he quit, right? It's just like I always say, if you come to Nashville and people say, you know, how do you make it? Well, you make it by being persistent and never stopping. This way you're always going for it. You're almost always there. And sometimes you will actually make it. You would have to stop or die before you didn't make it. But as long as you're keeping on going, you're going to make it. Does that make sense? Same thing with guitar, except guitar is real definable. You can say, okay, learn this one thing. Good, got that. Learn the next thing. Good, you got that, etc., etc. Okay? So there is a sickness, a mentality that says, I can't. I heard my kid say it this morning. I went in there and I said, I don't want you ever to say that again. He said, I can't do this. It's not true. It's what we tell ourselves when we get frustrated, but it's super, super damaging. You got to watch the words of your mouth. And more than that, you got to watch what you believe, okay? If you believe that you can't do something, you're 100% right. You can't. You believe you can do something, you're 100% right. You can. But until you get that mindset that you can, and sometimes that's just a matter of, they say fake it till you make it, right? You just get out there in faith. That's what faith is. Faith doesn't mean you know what's right. Faith just means this is what I believe, and I'm going to lean into it, and I'm going to invest in it, and I'm going to live my life as if it were true. That's what faith is. Okay, faith isn't knowing the answer. Nobody knows the answer. Faith is when we say we believe in something and we lean into that direction. So if you are having frustrations with guitar, which you should be if it's new to you, right? And you're leaning into it and you're like, yeah, but I believe because Eric said, and he seems like a believable guy, I just trust him or whatever. And then that's faith, okay? You don't know what the answer is. I could be wrong. I'm not, but for all you know, I could be wrong. And boom, you're going to think that you can do it. And if you can think that you can do it, then boom, you can. You have to apply yourself. You have to do the bits and pieces. But obviously, if you apply the pieces, then you can. Okay, returning back to the guitar was a life changer for me. No excuses. Everyone can. Thank you, Eric, for doing this. You're welcome, Dominic. And thank you so much for the donations all the time. You're always donating. So kind. Thank you. Friends, before we begin, a few things that I want you to do. First, like this video, and we're all going to do this together, so you might as well. We're going to take the time to do it, so please do it. It would really help me out. If you're not going to donate today, which is the bottom left-hand side there's a little smiley face next to that, a dollar symbol. You can donate there. I'm not asking for donations, but if you want to, if you feel inclined, then great, do that, please. Thank you. But what you can do is you can thumb up the video, and that'll take 2 seconds. Right there is a thumbs up. Just hit that. Thank you so much. Also, next to that, share. Please share this with somebody in some capacity on Instagram or Twitter, whatever, however you can do it. I'm not sure the different ways, but bet you know. You're smart. So do that, okay? Number 3, the first link below is the PDF that you should have downloaded already. If you haven't, please do that and look at it at some point today. It's going to guide you through the end of the month here, what we're doing, where to go. There's also some other free bits for you there. There's a bit on how to get into the program for free, but then I have some other programs from other people, not necessarily guitar, meditation, that sort of thing, apps that are life-changing for you also to check into, okay? Daniel, thank you so much. Daniel Joint, thank you so much again for the donation. I know you've donated before as well. Thank you very much. So don't forget that PDF. That's the first link below this video. And then below that, if you want to get into the Unstoppable Guitar System for free, boom, that's how to do it. Or if you want to get into the pro version, you can do that as well, okay? Okay, let's dig into it. Let's talk about acoustic guitars. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this room, okay? So let's talk about a few of those right now, okay? So let's start. We're just going to be scratching the surface here a bit, okay? An acoustic guitar is a guitar that usually has some sort of sound hole or something to project the sound. This is a dreadnought guitar. This is like your classic guitar, right? It's like the old cowboy guitar. It has no cutaways right here. It's just standard. Now this is a cheapo. This is a little Epiphone, but honestly, now this one's slightly out of tune, but this is a great guitar. I gave away like 30 of these, not at this Christmas, but I think the last Christmas. We need to do that again. That was fun. We gave away 30 of these. These are great little guitars, man. I think these are in the gear store too. Any gear that I mentioned, or if you have any gear questions that may be popping up right now, if you want to know more about the gear that I recommend and where to get it and everything, there is a link for that below this video. But this is a standard dreadnought guitar, okay? It's just standard size, nothing fancy about it. It looks like your standard, cowboy guitar, right? This right here, I did a fun review on. I don't know about fun. I did a review on it. This is called a ukulele. So if a ukulele and a nylon string classical guitar had a baby, you would have a ukulele. It's pretty small. As you can see, it looks a little bit like a classical guitar. So this is an Ortega, which, by the way, if you're looking for a classical guitar, Ortega makes great affordable classical guitars. I love this company. and I happen to be really good friends with the CEO. We're buddies. But that's not why I say it. I say it because they make great stuff. Yeah. Okay, so this right here is the ukulele. It's a little bit smaller, as you can see. A classical guitar has nylon strings. Okay, they're a little bit darker sounding, typically picked with the fingertips and or fingernails. Okay, they don't have a truss rod usually. Ortega does put one in their guitars. Mainly used for finger picking, classical, that sort of thing. All right. The ukulele is more of a gimmicky type of thing, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Sal, thank you so much for the donation and that fun little avatar. Thanks for being you. Thank you, buddy. Super, super appreciative about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So same thing. You could work, use these as a classical guitar or anything else. But I love these because I can sit in bed like this. They're nice and quiet, super fun. I can do all the same fingerings as I would on a guitar. It's tuned slightly differently. So if we capoed the guitar at the 5th fret, then that would be the sounds that you would be getting out of this guy here. Okay. Let's look at some others. This is the one I've been using all week. Right. This is a Faith Blood Moon, Venus Blood Moon. This has a cutaway. This also has a tuner and a pickup built in it. So here I can tune my guitar. There you go. So my A is flat, right? So there you go. So this guy has a built-in tuner. You can plug it in right here. It's got a Fishman pickup. So if you wanted to amplify it, if you were playing like in a church environment or a PA, plug it into a PA or something like that, then this would be a great guitar. Yeah, this is a gorgeous guitar. It's not only beautiful, but this thing plays like a race car. I mean, it plays, it feels to me a little bit like an electric guitar, just in the neck, the profile of the neck, and the way that it plays. It plays magically delicious. So this and my Gibson SJ200 are my two favorite acoustic guitars. Okay, I've played many of them, and I love both. When I got this one in, it needed to be set up, which is true for many guitars, even very expensive guitars a lot of times. It had to be set up, but once it was set up, played like a race car, okay? And this has a cutaway so that you could reach further up into the bout here, for more lead type stuff. All right, let's look at another. This here, and I know I'm not handling my guitars like I probably should, but I've got a very limited space here. So this one needs I gotta get way back here. This is a jumbo baritone. So the neck is longer than a usual guitar. As you can see, it's pretty big. And the body is jumbo, just like my SJ200. This part here goes, whoa, right? Like real nice hips or something. Okay, that's all right, I can say that. Don't get weird. Right, so like it's just got a real nice profile there. This is a jumbo. And this particular guitar is a baritone. So it's got that really nice low, deep tone. It's a 4th below. Is it a 4th or a 5th? It's a 5th below. It's a B. It's a low B right there, right? Paul, thank you so much for the donation, $20 donation. Thank you, bud. Very much appreciate that. Okay, so that has a real deep tone to it, right? And I love this guitar. I mentioned yesterday that I tried another version of this. I think it was a Batson, or I I forgot the name of it, but it was like a $6,000 baritone guitar. Obviously, I didn't want to spend $6,000 on a baritone guitar. I knew I wouldn't be using it that much, although I use this guitar quite a bit because it inspires me to do different things. Different guitars inspire me and will inspire you to do different things as well. So nylon string, I get a different feel. A smaller guitar, I'm going to do different things on. A bigger guitar, a deeper tone, I'm going to do different things with it. They inspire you differently, like maybe a different paintbrush or a different canvas or different paints. For sure, okay? What else can I show you here? I didn't play this one, but I should, so you get the vibe for it. So this is a standard steel string guitar, right? Just a fun, it's your everyday type of, just dig in, and it's just steel string acoustic guitar, So the other two that I have are my wife's, my wives. My wives? Yeah, sure. They're owned by my wife, and they are a Takamine and a Gibson, and just like an old ass Gibson. She's a lefty, so she plays them flipped over, right? And they change the nut and the whole 9 yards. But nothing really much to show you there. There's a dreadnought and there's a cutaway. But nonetheless, lots of different types of acoustic guitars. Now, I get the question all the time. People say, Eric, what type of acoustic guitar should I get? And the answer is the one that's right for you. There is no best guitar. There's no best acoustic guitar. There's no best electric guitar. There's no best pedal. I could say best, but that doesn't make it best, right? So try to get out of that habit of thinking that there's a best and look for something that's great for you. We talked about how to find that yesterday, and in a nutshell, it was budget, feel, and price. So if you can't afford a guitar, don't play it unless you're just trying to get an education in it, and that's a good thing to do too. But play all the ones that are within your budget, and then go on the feel and the sound. Don't overthink this. Later on, you can get really complicated and think about the woods and everything else. But if you're a beginner, none of that stuff is going to matter to you for many, many years, okay? This is what part of the reason why I believe the way that I teach is helpful to folks is because I say, don't look at this thing right now. Let's put it over here. You don't need it right now, but do focus on these things, right? I use Pareto's rule of focus on the 20% of the right stuff, and then you can do 80% of the job. As opposed to looking at 80% of the stuff you're not going to use and only being able to do 20% of the job. You want to focus on the right stuff right away, okay? So if you need more help with purchasing a guitar, what have you, you can watch the live video from yesterday, or obviously get into UGS, even the free version of it, okay? And in this video, if you want to know my suggestions for acoustic guitars, electrics, all the rest, there is a link in the description of this video. It says something like gear. It's near the bottom, okay? All right, we're going to get into questions pretty much right away here because we've talked a bit about acoustic. Oh, you know something? Let's talk. What else can we? I tell you what. You asked the questions about acoustic guitars because I just wanted to give you a brief overview there. Sometimes, you never know what audience you're dealing with and who needs what. So if you guys say, hey, what about this on the guitar, what have you, then I can go ahead and answer that question for you. All right? And then at the 1 hour mark, at the 12 o'clock mark, we're going to be talking about capos and how to use them in the studio, how to use them live, how to change keys, etc., etc., etc. Okay? All right. Let's get into some questions here. Friends, if you would, like this video and share it with a friend, okay? Also, when you're giving me a question here, please put all caps and put a question mark afterwards, okay? I'm looking for, Mark is saying, I'm looking for a new acoustic guitar, but I'm just a beginner. Can you suggest an easy thing to practice to get a good feel and sound on the guitars before buying one? So Mark, if you play some chords, I would just strum some basic chords. If you don't know any chords, you just have to play what it is that you know. And you're limited to what you know. So if you can't play chords, you're not gonna be able to play chords, right? So what you could do though is you could have a friend who does play come into the store with you and then listen to it, because you could sit back and just close your eyes and go, wow, I like the sound of that one better. And you can imagine yourself playing it. So you don't necessarily have to play it, but maybe have a person at the store do it, okay? If you are unsure on how to play the guitar right now, then have them do it so that you can get the sound for it, okay? Also asking them on their opinions, right? So like, how does this guitar play for you? What do you think of it? That's a helpful thing, because you may not know right at the beginning, right? What is your opinion of an ovation? Personally, the round back and my round belly don't agree. Jeremy, I hate ovation guitars. There, I'll say it. There's not many things that I say that about, but I've owned ovation guitars. I don't like them. That round back drives me nuts. And if you want a guitar, personally, I'm sorry if anybody from Ovation is watching or if you're a big Ovation fan, but I think they sound terrible. They sound terrible as an acoustic instrument, and they don't sound good plugged in either. Their microphone system's terrible. So JR, there's JR. He loves his Ovation. So forget about me. You know what I mean? Here it is again. That's just an opinion, because one guy's gonna like something, another guy's gonna not. So let that be the lesson here, is that it doesn't matter what I think. If you like the guitar, it's fine. I personally just don't like them. But that's just a personal opinion, okay? Okay, how do you tie guitar strings back if you accidentally made a mistake when you tune your guitar by ear? How do you tie guitar strings back? Do you mean, how do you tune them back if you made a mistake when you tune your guitar by ear? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. If you can rephrase that where I can understand it, then hopefully I can answer it for you. Do you use the same chord shapes for a baritone guitar? You do. Just like if you were to capo the guitar, which at noon, I'm going to go over that with you, right? I'm going to talk to you about tuning the guitar, or not tuning the guitar, but playing the guitar with the capo and what that means, what the feel of something means. So like if you're in the feel of G, you may not be playing actually in the key of G, but it feels like the key of G because you're playing all the same chord shapes. So on the baritone, which is way over there, yes, I can play all the same shapes. Let's just do it. I can play all the same shapes, right? Here's my C shape. Here's my G shape. Here's my E minor shape. Listen how low this is. Right? Tommy Larson, thank you so much for the donation, friend. Appreciated, very much so. So this is a B minor chord. So if you played a B minor chord on your guitar, it would match nicely with that, okay? So you play all the same shapes, all the same scales, but it's lower in pitch. I always compare this to if someone sings "Happy Birthday to You," right? And then somebody else sings "Happy Birthday to You." They're the same song, but they're obviously not playing in the same key, okay? So, and same is true for, you know, the ukulele as well. You can play all the same shapes and what have you. I just started. I like fingerstyle, but I'm afraid it will be harder. Shall I start with fingerstyle or go straight to a pick? So the thing about playing with a pick is you only have to concentrate on one string at a time. So in essence, I'd say most people would say it's easier to play with a pick. Okay, there's a little bit more to know when you're finger picking, right? There's having to keep up with other strings. Unlike if I was just using a pick, I would just be strumming a chord or picking individual notes. So it is a little bit more to keep up with, but it's not hard. And I've got videos for you on, on YouTube. Search YourGuitarSage finger picking, and I'll walk you through it, okay? Obviously, inside Unstoppable Guitar System, you can find it there too. Okay? I am wearing shorts today. It's warm, the sun is blazing outside. I think it is going to be, it is 72 out right now, and I think it's going to get up to 76, which is beautiful. Can an electro-acoustic sound like an electric if you add pedals? Stu Boy. Yes, in fact, Larry, who's in the chat right now, hit me up on Twitter last night or the night before and posted a video of Zach Wild playing Voodoo Child on an acoustic guitar, and he's running through all of his same gear. Obviously, this acoustic is set up like an electric, and he's running it all through his same gear, and he's blazing speed. This guy's a freak. And so he's playing it just like an electric. So yes, technically you could get it to sound more like an electric, but it depends on lots of things. So if you take like my SJ200, which is a jumbo, it's a legit classical guitar as opposed to what Zach was playing with, which was almost like this hybrid electric. It was still classical, but he had it obviously set up so that he could do that sort of thing. If I did that on my, or if he had my SJ200, he's not going to make that sound the same way that his sounded, because the pickup in mine is meant to sound like, I mean, it uses a microphone. It's meant to sound like a nice, big, giant, full guitar. Whereas if you're using a piezo pickup in a classical guitar, they kind of compress the sound, and it's a little bit more like an electric guitar pickup anyhow, more so than a microphone would be. So in that way, that guitar is going to sound a little bit more electric. But yeah, you can run it through overdrives and delays and reverbs and all that stuff very easily. Which strings do I prefer on an archtop guitar? I don't have a particular string that I'm in love with. I like them all. The Darios are great. Boomers are great. I've used them all. Elixirs. But there's no string that I've ever played where I'm like, oh my God, that's the sound I'm looking for. Just never run across that. And I've never heard another guitar player or teacher say that either. I've never heard someone say, oh my God, bro, you've got to try these strings. They sound so different. Never heard that. Maybe I just haven't run across that, but I've never heard it. My biggest problem with a pick is holding on to the doggone thing. How can I get a grip? Okay, well, a couple things that you can do. Bafar. The reason that you're having issues with it is because you weren't born with the pick in your hand. You haven't developed the habit. That's the only reason. If anybody who's listening has a problem with holding the pick, the only reason that you're having a problem holding the pick is that you haven't done it enough. That's the only reason. So then what's the remedy? Hold it enough. Literally, you're walking down the street, have the pick in your hand and hold it. Fiddle with it. Have it in your hands all the time. You don't have to be playing guitar to get familiar with this. And that is a lesson right there as well, is that you can break so many little things down when it comes to playing guitar. You don't have to be doing it all at once. Carry the pick around with you everywhere and just get comfortable with it. Hold it however you would hold it when you're playing the guitar. The more hours that you book doing that, then when you go to play the guitar, that's one variable that isn't going to throw you off. And it only takes one weak link to break the chain, right? So just remember, that's one of the links. And if this thing's falling out of your hand and you've got the left hand down like crazy, and you've got all your theory, and you've got so much to say within your emotions, but you can't hold on to the pick, well, that's the one link that's going to make you a crappy player. So hold on to your pick. Carry it around with you everywhere, and just get used to holding it in your fingers. The other thing that you can do is get a thinner pick if you're doing bigger strumming, right? More than one string at a time. Get a thinner pick, one that flexes like this. This is a 0.66, a 0.60. This is a 0.88, and it doesn't flex at all, okay? This is a Dunlop Ultex. I use these all the time for electric. And this is, whoa, look out. I'm not sure why I shouted like that. It was going to break my foot. This is a brain pick, and this is a 0.60. This is made by Snarling Dogs, brain picks, and they've got a little bit of grip on them. Now that's helpful to have a little bit of grip on it, but understand that it really has to do that you just aren't used to holding it. Have you ever seen a child with a pencil at first? They hold it like this, right? Why? Why do they do that? Because this is caveman and this is built into our DNA. This is not so much. We've only been doing this for a few years, maybe a few hundred years, maybe a few thousand years, but not as much as the tens or hundreds of thousands of years we've been doing this. Hold my club. You know what I mean? This sort of thing. So that's what we're used to. So, but doing this is a whole nother thing. So a child has to get used to this. We, you, me, whoever's starting on the guitar is a child at the guitar, so they have to get used to it. So hold your pick and hold it a lot. Okay? All right, good. Who are your all-time top 3 guitarists? Wow. Stevie Ray Vaughan still just absolutely blows me away whenever I watch him play. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. I love Yngwie Malmsteen for electric, like fast electric shredder, metal, neoclassical type of playing. He is a beast. And influentially, is that a word? I don't know, it is now. Influentially, I would say Randy Rhoads really inspired me a lot. But like these days, I don't really look at him as being like maybe my top 3, but I can tell you that growing up, he was one of my top 3 for sure. Maybe my number 1. Oh, Eddie Van Halen, for sure. He's in there. My sister gave an Esteban guitar she got from QVC. Action is in the stratosphere. Is it worth taking to a luthier as Phil McKnight rated it the worst of 2010s? Al, it depends. You know, a luthier is going to probably charge you about $50 to get that set up. So it might. I tell you what to do with a guitar like that. I have guitars like that where the action's super high, and yes, Esteban made his money and ran. That's what he did. He sold a bunch of junky guitars. But well, on those types of guitars, what I like to do is just tune them to an open tuning and learn to play slide guitar. And then you've got a great acoustic guitar with crappy action, but it's great action for slide guitar. So make it a slide guitar. That's what I would do, personally. Otherwise, if you're going to buy another guitar, maybe, what, $300-400 a minimum? So that would be cheaper to just take it to a luthier and have them set it up, even though the action, you know, isn't the best. And maybe the guitar's not the best, you know? Hey, Eric, difficulty to bend my fingers for fretting. Would it be better to have my tendons cut and shortened? I don't know if that's an option. Eric, what is your personal opinion on the new 2019 American Acoustasonic Stratocaster from Fender? What do you think in general about the mixture between acoustic and electric guitar? Andreas, I haven't looked into those, but just like off the top of my head, I don't know why there would be a need for that, but then I could be wrong. I don't know. I saw a bunch of people playing them right after NAMM, right? And then I haven't seen anybody else play them again. So for me, my guess would be, and it's just a personal opinion, sorry Fender, it's just a personal opinion, I mean I obviously love Fenders, is that it was just a fad and that no one's going to be playing these. I just don't understand what they do. So maybe I'm speaking out of context. Maybe there's some amazing instrument that I just don't know about, but my guess would be no. Did I meet Rick Beato? No, I didn't actually go to NAMM this year. So all my buddies were there and I had FOMO, but I was in the midst of some human resource changes. I was hiring a bunch of new people in the studio. I was training people. I had like 2 new people that I was training, and we were building courses. We were digging in while everybody was having fun at NAMM. So that's fine. I missed that, but in the meanwhile, I was making content, I was making videos, and I was having a blast myself with my new employees who are now part of the team. So Emmy, who you guys have met, she's in the chat right now. She is amazing, and as well as Mike is amazing, and Jason's amazing, and Joshua, who I sent back to Florida to be with his family during this time. Right now, he's actually my nephew, but he's part of our crew as well. And oh, thank you so much. Somebody named the top 3 guitar players. Thank you. I made the cut. Thank you. You got to find some other influences if I made that cut. But thank you, Jody. That's really sweet. So I didn't meet Rick Beato, but I would like to. He seems like a really knowledgeable dude. And slightly cranky like I can be sometimes. So I live in Arizona, having trouble keeping humidity levels up. Thoughts on an in-case humidifier? An in-case humidifier would probably be just what you need in Arizona. And the reason being is when you're dealing with a little machine that's going to humidify the air against nature, it's like it can't contend. So you have to take that guitar and put it in a smaller room, and then maybe have the humidifier go off, or have it in a closet, or better yet, have that guitar in a case that's humidified, then take it out when you need it. That would be my suggestion, because you just can't, a little machine can't fight against Mother Nature. I remember being in Arizona for the first time. It was 115 degrees out. I was in the pool. I was like, God, it's so hot. And then I would get out of the pool, and it was so dry that I'd get out. It was 115. I'd be in the pool, blazing sun hitting me. I'd get out of the pool, and it was cold. I mean, cold, like I wanted to jump back in the water cold. It was the weirdest. I've never experienced that. When I'm in Florida, everything's humid, or Nashville, Tennessee, yeah, everything's humid, so you get out of the water and everything's just normal. So, 10% or less humidity in AZ. Yeah, that's gonna murder your acoustic guitars. Probably will murder your electric guitars too, but buddy, you've got to humidify those guitars because it's gonna murder them. It takes some time, may take a few years, but it will murder your guitars, right? It just really, really will. Yeah, right. Bill Withers recently passed away, and poor. Yeah. I mean, he was 81. He was 81, so I guess he lived a full life. But Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. I think I have a lesson on that one. That's a fun one to noodle over the top of, by the way. In A minor, use the A minor pentatonic, A minor blues, A minor scale, C major pentatonic, C major blues. Well, all that will sound really nice over the top of it, right? All right. I don't know anything about glary guitars. Most of them are under $100. I don't know anything about them. Have you tried one of the Epiphone Masterbuilt with the eSonic 2 preamp? They sound absolutely awesome. One of my favorite sleeper guitars, and I call it a sleeper because it's a really cheap guitar, like you can get them used for like $400, is an Epiphone Masterbuilt. B-I-L-T, not B-U-I-L-T, but B-I-L-T. And I love those guitars because they sing. I mean, they're beautiful, they play great, and in fact, I think I have those in my store in the gear store below. Just there's many links below, but all the way at the bottom where you see the list of them, look for one that says gear. Check those out because I believe I have one in there, and they're an affordable guitar and they play great. Check them out. Eric, what are your opinions on hollow versus semi-hollow body guitars? I'm thinking of buying one or the other. I don't have much to say about them. They're made slightly differently, but again, from guitar to guitar, everything's different. So go with something that you're in love with. There's not really much to say about it. Yeah, so somebody has the Epiphone Masterbuilt. Are you going to teach about fingerstyle? I could, since we're talking about acoustic guitar. Why don't I do this? Why don't I give you just a brief overview of fingerstyle, like what the protocol is, and then you guys will have it. Otherwise, what I suggest you do is watch the longer video that I have on YouTube. Just search YourGuitarSage finger picking or fingerstyle, and I know I have lots of videos, so not just one, I have lots of videos on that. But it goes like this. When we're talking about finger picking, we're using the thumb first, second, and third. We're really not using the pinky so much, number one, because it's so short, and two, we're rarely picking more than 4 notes at a time. So if you want to pick 5 or 6 notes at a time, you can always strum like that, okay? Otherwise, you're just using thumb first, second, third, okay? Some people just use thumb first, second. I suggest using all 4. You'll run into a need for it. The thumb's going to take care of strings 6, 5, and 4, and fingers 1, 2, and 3 will take care of strings 3, 2, 1 respectively. Now, with that being said, if I'm picking a chord like this, watch, this is 6, 3, 2, and 1. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, if I was picking inside, say I was picking an A minor chord, I'm going to have to fret something for this, then what I'm going to do is my thumb is going to drop down a string to the 5, and these fingers here are going to bump up 1. See, they're bumping up 1 like that. And now I have 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. This is a great exercise, by the way. Just going back and forth between the E minor and the A minor. And you're just using P-I-M-A and back. Bump, bump. And doing this in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a perfect cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And go to the A minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a Metallica song as well. Jackson, yeah. It's so you're just using that pattern. If you do that, and you could literally practice that for hours and hours and hours, and you're going to get really, really good at this basic idea. Seriously, just sit on the front porch and just do that over and over and over again. You will be wowed by how much progress you make on finger picking. You will be absolutely wowed. Friends, if you would right now like this video, and also please share it with a friend. Let other folks know, because we really want to reach a lot of people with this. We're opening up the course for everybody, and we want them to know that we're here for them during this time. And that's why I'm going live with you every single day in April, okay? Okay. I don't know that DeArmond Rhythm Chief, although any DeArmond that I've played, I thought they were cool guitars. Opinion on a Recording King. I've played them. They're awesome. They're really nice. Okay, House of the Rising Sun, yeah. Why don't you play guitar at the center of the hole? I am Kevin. You can, Kevin, and let me show you this. So, you could play right over the sound hole, but here's the deal. It doesn't matter where you play, like in regards to, the sound's going to come out either way, right? Doesn't matter where I'm at. Now, it'll get brighter here. Make sense? So you can do wherever you would like. You play wherever you would like on there. Okay. So are you only picking 4 strings of a chord? Yes, but you could pick less or you could pick more. And you can use your pinky. I've done it before, but most of the time you're not. What is this? The easiest way to be able to move across the fretboard? With your hand, Isaac. That's the easiest way. Use your hand. Do you maybe review some songs from other countries, like other styles? I could link some stuff I'm really having trouble with. Hobo, typically not, because especially if it's a song that's not very popular, then like 7 people are going to watch it, as opposed to if I put another video up, like the ZZ Top video that we dropped yesterday. We'll post the link for this at the end of this broadcast so you guys can check that out. But I mean, that video has like 9,000 views already because people know ZZ Top and they like it. So probably not. No offense, it's just, you know, doesn't make sense. What are your suggestions for first guitars? A Les Paul good? Yeah, Les Paul's great. Be a great first guitar for sure. But I have recommendations on more affordable guitars and expensive guitars. In the link below, you'll find something that says gear. So if you're really interested, click on that link and check that out. Do you anchor a finger pinky while playing fingerstyle? So folks are mixed about this. Now in classical school, so I went to classical school, you were not allowed to put your pinky on the top of the guitar. It was really thought, they really thought down on that. And the reason being is traditionally the classical guitar was meant to be played in an auditorium and there was no microphones or anything like that. So you had to play and you had to project. And if you put your pinky on the top of the guitar, it's going to make the resonance of the guitar, you're going to limit it, you're going to dampen it, and you can 100% hear the difference on a classical guitar when doing that. That being said, steel string guitars tend to be louder, so you don't really have to stick to that rule, and you're not in classical school, so you get to do what the flip you want. So if it helps you, plant your finger there. If it doesn't, you know, I don't do that usually. Sometimes I'll hold on to the strings a little bit in some ways just because I'll mute them and what have you, but typically not. John's asking about how to make a donation. John, in the bottom left-hand corner next to the smiley face, you'll see a dollar symbol. You can click on that and donate. And if you do, I so appreciate that. At the very minimum, please like the video, friends. That'll let other folks know about it. Okay, also, banjo players insist on planting a finger because they say it makes the instrument louder because you're kind of pulling up on the strings. You're not pulling up on the strings, but the technique is a little bit different. What do you think of Taylor Academy guitars? I love Taylor guitars, but the Academy 12E, I don't know specifically. How to get faster transitioning between chords? Bob, second link below. The second link below, I'm giving you free access to the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. There is a video specifically covering that where I talk about it in detail and I walk you through it. Chord transitioning. Don't miss that video. Watch it, okay? I haven't listened to Ewan Dobson. Ewan Dobson. No, I have not. What do you think of Nashville tuning strings and how do they work? I had a Nashville strung guitar and I liked it. I loved it, actually. It was pretty cool. But essentially the top 4 strings, or the lowest 4 strings in pitch, are up 1 octave. And so it's kind of like a 12-string guitar without the regular tuned strings. It's the other octave strings that are in there. And it just sounds really cool. So I've had one before. Wasn't using it much. I sold it and I don't really miss it. It's great for overdubbing though, okay? John coming through with a donation. Beautiful, John. Thank you so much, buddy. Really, really appreciate that. The crew appreciates that. The studio that I'm gone from this month and a half here appreciates it because I'm still paying for that. And Steven, thank you so much for a donation and a cute little cat avatar. Uh-oh. Pardon me. That's cats. That's nothing for you guys to be worried about. That's cats. My own cats that I'm allergic to. Slightly. All right. What do you think of Nashville strung? Yeah, picking patterns. What? That was my question a few days ago. Picking patterns. Marine, I've got lots of picking patterns for you. There's a ton of them. Thank you so much, Jay Wald, for the donation. I so appreciate it, especially during this time. Very much appreciated. So kind of you. You guys always come through for me. Thank you. Picking patterns. I have lots and lots and lots of picking patterns inside of UGS for you. Check that out, okay? And I know I've got free videos on YouTube as well. Search YourGuitarSage finger picking, okay? Do you have an opinion on effects processors versus traditional pedals? So traditional pedals are also effects processors. It's just that they're in individual pedals, but I know what you're saying. You know, the cool thing about individual pedals is you can reach down, you can tweak them as opposed to, say, like a Kemper or something. Although I love the Kemper because it has lots of knobs, so you can tweak things very quickly without going into menus. But that's why I don't like multiprocessors, is because you have menus, and that can be a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, right? All right. Yes. Any thoughts on hybrid picking with a pick and fingerstyle? It's cool. Do it. There's reasons why you might want to do it. What should I look at when buying a guitar online? Look at the reviews. If it's not a 4.5 star and above and it has a lot of reviews, I wouldn't even bother with it. 4.5 is like the minimum for anything anymore these days. If it didn't have 4.5 stars and a lot of people voting on it, then I wouldn't bother with it. Okay? There's too many choices out there. Can you explain the cage system, Isaac? That would be a long one to explain here right now. I'll give you a basic overview of it, but essentially you have I can't. I'm going to give you way too short of an answer, and I have a long video on it that will explain it all. So Isaac, on YouTube, search YourGuitarSage Caged, because the questions are coming in too fast for me to be able to take 10 minutes and still not properly teach that, okay? Watch that video. I have it for you for free, okay? Obviously, I have a whole course inside UGS on this. Do you ever use a thumb and fingers 1, 2, 3 for playing inside 4-string chord patterns? Yes, I do all the time. Barry, thank you so much for the donation. So appreciate that. Love the avatar. Is there a drill to increase chord transitions? Okay. Yes, this is what you do. To increase your chord transition abilities, you just find 2 chords and go back and forth between them. But watch the secret sauce that I'm talking to you about, like what you have to do regarding those 2 chords. Watch that in the video that I'm giving to you for free, the whole series there inside UGS. There's a whole video on chord transitions. You've got to take advantage of this. The second link below. I'm giving it to you for free today, so get it. Let's talk about nuts. Let's talk about it. I see nut widths range from 1.68 to 1.77 when searching for new guitars. Any recommendations? It depends on what you like. So you just have to go on what you like. There's not a preferred bit here. It's what do you like? You like blondes? You like brunettes? You know? You like big ladies? You like little ladies? You like whatever it is. It's what do you like? James, thank you so much. Your videos are awesome. Keep up the good work and keep jamming. Thank you, James. So kind of you, my friend. Thank you for the donation. Very much appreciated right now. Oh, downloaded the ebook. Beautiful. Okay. And another donation, James Newland. Thank you, James. Dear Lord, friends, you guys are coming in strong today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. My family appreciates it too. I told my wife this morning, I'm reminding you I'm going live again today. She's like, no, it's a Saturday. I said, dude, what don't you understand? 30-day challenge. I mean, every single day in the month of April. That's Saturdays and Sundays. I told you this. We're going live. She said, okay. No, my wife is awesome. She's very supportive of me. She's a songwriter and she's doing this as well. Lots of live stuff with songwriters. So she totally understands. But of course, she wanted me to be playing out in the sun right now. I'm literally watching my boy and my wife right now in the sun playing. We live on a cul-de-sac and they're kicking a ball out in the street right now. And my little kid is at ridiculous age right now. He's so cute. We post Instagram stories all the time. So if you're not following my Instagram, those links are below. You got to, because we do fun stuff all the time. Eric, what kind of off topic, but I'm curious as to your opinion on Vox modeling amps, the cheap ones that use a tube in the preamp. I haven't tried those, so I can't say for sure. I would be a liar if I told you that I knew about them. But Vox makes great stuff, right? Oh, Charlie, what's the sun? We were saying that here in Nashville for a while. It was like for weeks, it was just nothing but rain, and now finally we have sun again. So I do call my wife dude. I call her dude. I call her bro. She probably doesn't love that, but when she's getting sassy with me, I'll be like, dude, come on, you know this. Oh my God, Ed Parkinson just donated $50. Edward, thank you so much. Dear Lord, my friend, this is not the first time you've donated either, I'm pretty sure. I think I saw you donate again the other day. Thank you, buddy. That is so appreciative. it makes doing these even more fun, because then I'm not just doing it for free. But it's so appreciated. Thank you, Ed. So kind. Jeez, man, dear Lord, thank you. Dudette. Can you demonstrate a nice Stevie Ray Vaughan descending turnover lick in E with open strings, frets 0 through 3? Thanks. I want to learn one. Jeff, so let me show you a turnaround that you can do. So and by the way, another donation just came in, Alan Mumby. Thank you so much, Alan. Super kind of you. Really appreciate that, friend. So here's the deal. When you're talking about a turnaround, right? You're talking about this sound. Right? That's what you're talking about. So let me show you. So I don't know about 0 through 3 frets, but I can show you 2 through 5, where the turnaround would be. Is in this case here, my first finger is on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and the pinky's walking down in half steps, or the 5th string's walking down in half steps. Okay, so here's my E. We're gonna end up on the B, which is the 5 chord, and it lands on that note, which is the 5 chord, when the 5 chord appears. So it's like this. So you're gonna walk it down. That's the pinky, first finger. And we have our B7 chord, which is the 5, and then so it's like. Make sense? Okay, good. Matthew's saying, hey Eric, I love your videos and appreciate the information. What are some of the most important skills that beginners should master to become a better all-around guitar player? There's 2 of them, the pentatonic scale and the major scale. Know the major scale, because the major scale is literally, by the way, a donation just came in. Lee, thanks from SE, Massachusetts. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. So kind. The major scale is so important because it's literally the benchmark that we use for every single comparative in music. When we're talking about the 1-4-5 chord progressions, the 1, the 4, the 5, or we're talking about a 1, 3, 5. We're talking about the interval notes. Robert, geez, my God, with the donations today, my friends, you are just coming in hard and strong. Thank you. What a giving, grateful crowd today, Robert. Thank you so much. Beautiful. So when we're talking about the 1, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, and all that, we're always talking about that which is from the major scale. So that's why you got to know the major scale. I teach that for free inside of UGS Standard. It's the second link below. You should know this stuff. If you want to play guitar, you got to know this stuff, at least the very bare minimum. This is why I give it out to you for free, so that you can build a good, strong, solid foundation, okay? Second link below. Get that stuff. So the pentatonic scale is the great first scale for improvisation, because it's very simple. It's a lot of choice notes. There's only 5 notes in it, and you totally can get this. Learn the pentatonic scale, and then on YouTube search YourGuitarSage Minimalistic Blues, and I'm going to show you how to use that pentatonic scale and how to just get the basic phrases down, just like a child would learn to get basic phrases down at first. Doesn't need to get all the hard stuff down until later on in life. You just get the basics down, right? And then, boom, you got the phrasing down. Then you can get more complicated. All right, friends, we're going to go into the intermediate advanced section of this, because JF Brunette just came in with a donation as well. Thank you so much, JF. Wow, you guys are so giving today. This is bonkers. Holy cow. Ow. Jeez, what am I doing? Is it my shorts? Is it you guys like my shorts today? What is it? I don't think it's probably the shorts. But why is it? I gotta know. Started UGS Pro last December. Last night watched a video of Mark Knopfler and Emmylou Harris, I was able to play along with the 145 and the 145 songs with chords. Thanks again for this fantastic program. Al, thank you so much. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for the testimony, letting people know that it's working. Because, you know, sometimes they don't believe the guy who's creating the course and saying, hey, this is a great course, but they might believe somebody else. So thank you so much, Al, for that. Beautiful. Okay, so as per promised, right? The first hour that we're doing every single. Let me take it from the top, okay? For those that are just joining us now for the intermediate advanced part of the program, this is going to be super fun. You guys are going to dig this, okay? 30 days in the month of April. I said to the crew, let's do this. Let's go 30-day challenge, guitar challenge. Let people into the Unstoppable Guitar System. If they want to check out the Pro section, they can do that for $1 and get in there for 30 days and check that out. There's 30 days in April. Takes 21 to 30 days to establish a habit. You've always said to yourself, hey, I want to learn the guitar, but I only had the time. Now you have the time. Now you got the course. You've got no excuses. I'm going to walk you through every single day. I'm going to be live with you for 60 hours for free here on YouTube. I'm going to be answering your questions so that you can get through this. There's zero excuses for you at this point. So now the universe is like doing this. It's going. It's looking at you saying, look, you got no excuses, and you don't want to disappoint the universe. You know what happens when you disappoint the universe? Huh? Do you know what happens? Because I don't know, because let me know, because I don't know what happens. But it's probably something bad, because the universe is pretty big. So we got 30 days here in April, and I'm walking you through this. And what I said I would do from 11 to 1 o'clock every single day, I would be live with you. In the first hour, 11 through 12, we're doing beginner, and 12 through 1, we're doing an intermediate advanced lesson. That's what we're doing right now, okay? So this right here is how to use a capo, and it talks about, so some people will say, oh, what do you mean, how to use a capo? You jackass. I know how to use a capo. You just take it and you put it on your guitar. I don't need a lesson for that. Yeah, okay, but what I'm talking about is how to know, number one, how to play the same song in 3-4 different places on the guitar. This is great for in the studio. It's great for playing live, for playing with other musicians, for coming up with other parts, for being inspired, for making chords easier, for making them harder if you prefer to make chords harder. All sorts of reasons. So we're going to learn about how to use the capo right now. But before we do that, there's a few things I want you to do. Number one, if you're joining us for the advanced section here, did I get another donation? Yeah. For those that are just joining us right now for the advanced section, number one, first link below, download the PDF. If you have not already done this, my friends, do that. It'll open up in another tab, or you'll download it to your computer, and that'll give you a day-by-day curriculum of what we're going to be doing through the month of April, okay? It's also going to give you some links to some other stuff that I'm giving you guys for free. Tony Robbins' app is the breakthrough app. This has absolutely changed my life. And then also a meditation program that I use every day. Look, we got 30 days, right? If you're saying you're bored, I'm literally giving you some stuff that I use all the time that absolutely help my mind, they help my spirit, help my body, and condition me, and so I give those things to you, okay? So check those out. Okay, so there's that. And then below that is a link for you to get into Unstoppable Guitar System if you want that for free, or if you want to do the 30-day, $1 bit and all that, okay? Okay, awesome. Ready? We went over that, so we'll talk about this as well. Phil, thank you so much for the donation, friend. Wow. What is going on today with you guys with these donations? This is just like really quite beautiful. Thank you. So kind. What was I going to tell you? Oh, like this video and also share this video if you would. There's 556 of you rock stars in here right now. And if you share this with other people, it will also let them know that there's other things going on in the world. We're improving our minds and our bodies and our spirits and our playing abilities and all the rest, okay? Like it and share it. Thanks so much. Okay, so this right here is called the capo, how to use a capo. This is one page of like several pages. And this is inside the Unstoppable Guitar System that I'm showing you right now. If you want to take a snapshot of it, take a snapshot of it if you want. And then you don't have to download it, but it's available for you if you want it. All the all the bits inside of the program that I'm giving you today are also, there's PDFs there for you to download that are going to guide you through the actual video lessons step by step, okay? So how to use a capo, right? A capo, let's talk about it from the top. A capo is a little device. It can be a clamp style like this, or it could be adjustable, okay? All my other 5,700 capos are at the studio, which I can't get to right now because we're on lockdown. But so this is a clamp style. Songwriters love these because they can just do this and they can go, my next song is about love. And then they can go boop. Okay, boom, it's right there. Studio players love to have the adjustable kind because they don't clamp here, but when you do put them on the guitar, they don't put the guitar out of tune at all. Charlie Jervis, thank you so much. It's catchy. Screw the light bill. Screw the light bill. Thank you, Charlie, for the donation. Super kind, my friend. So there's different types. There's just clamp on, and then there's adjustable. And the adjustable are great for electrics because the electrics are a little bit more nitpicky about these types, right? These can slightly put your guitar out of tune. You can still use them. You put the capo on, and then you adjust the tuning, make sure all your chords and everything sound great, and then when you take it off again, your guitar will probably slightly be out of tune. The reason for that is that when you're moving up the fretboard, you're basically messing with the scale a little bit and the intonation. So most guitars are set for the intonation to be best in the open position, and then when you move up the fretboard, sometimes it can get a little bit squirrely, okay? So, sorry, I just saw my little guy running out there in the road, and I thought my wife wasn't there, but she's right there. And it's a cul-de-sac, it's not a road. So, a couple different types of capos. Get both, okay? You could get, like a clamp-on type would be like Kaiser. This is X Guitar X. It's just a cheap brand, but they work great. Kaiser, K-Y-S-E-R. There's other clamp-on types, tons of types. G7th is a more advanced type of capo where you clamp it on, but depending on how hard you press it down to the fretboard, it automatically, that's how hard it is. So, and it's got a little release, it's got one little release thing, and then you just hold it until it does what you need it to do. Those are nice. Whereas the adjustable capos, they have, that would be considered an adjustable, but some of them have like a little knob that you twist and then you torque it down, and then it keeps your guitar in tune, okay? So two different types of capos, basically. There's rolling capos where you put them up here and then you can roll them like if you're playing in a worship band and they roll from the back of the neck. So you could be playing and literally use the capo in the middle of playing. Those are pretty cool. I had those back in the day when I played in worship bands and stuff. Super useful. Shub, S-H-U-B-B, is a real classic capo used by lots of folks in Nashville. It just tends to be like a bluegrasser's favorite, I've noticed. They always have shubs. And so yeah, whatever capo you're using, it'll probably be fine for the most part. Now, if you're watching this and you don't have the money for a capo, or you want to use a capo right now, then there are tricks that you can use by using a pencil and a rubber band. Just search rubber band pencil capo on YouTube and you'll find somebody doing this, and they lock it down with a rubber band, and then you literally could use a capo today, right now, without actually going out and buying one. Obviously, it's a short-term solution because you really want to have a capo. That said, let's talk about the capo key chart and what this means to us and how this is going to help you, okay? So let's talk about this very simply first, and then we'll get into more advanced stuff. Well, let me give you an application, and then we'll go to the easy, and then we'll go to the hard, okay? So let's say I'm in the studio, and my guitar part is a C, an F, and a G, right? So I'm playing this. Right, the most classic chord progression of all times, a 1-4-5. So I got a C, an F, and a G. Well, if we know the caged system, which I teach extensively in UGS, and I have lessons for free on YouTube, search YourGuitarSage Caged, I'll show you all about this. Otherwise, it's a 20-minute explanation, and still some of you aren't going to get it because there's some stuff to know. Thank you so much for the donation, Rohina Street Band. Thank you, friend. So kind. So let's say I got that C, F, and G. Well, if I wanted to, let's say one guitar player in the band is playing this, or let's say I'm recording, I'm in the studio, and that's my first guitar part. And I want to continue this idea, I want to thicken up the guitars. Well, I could put the capo on the 3rd fret, right where my C chord was, and I could play now what feels like an A, a D, and an E. Because I'm capoed, it's going to change things up, and we're going to go into the detail about this in a minute, since this is an advanced lesson, okay? So here is my same C, G, or my same C, F, and G, but I'm playing them with different forms because of the capo. Again, don't get confused by this, because I'll explain it in a minute. So, right? Look. Andres, thank you so much. $2 donation. So kind, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Tommy Will is saying, what fingering are you using for that pain in the ass F chord? So, Tommy, everybody has a problem with this chord, with the F chord. After this broadcast, watch effing F chord. E-F-F-I-N-G, F chord. E-F-F-I-N-G, and I will show you exactly how to do it. Okay, I will walk you through it because there is nobody watching here right now that cannot play a bar chord. Now, maybe today you're having an issue with it, but I promise you, you can play bar chords. I couldn't play them at first. I was as crappy at playing bar chords as you were. Okay, but it just takes practice, and it takes knowing the steps and how to get there. And I've broken it down. I've done it for free. They're on YouTube. Watch the effing F chord. I promise you, you're going to get this. So for this particular F chord, I'm reaching my thumb over the top of the neck and muting that low E string, and then I'm playing strings 5 through 1. It's a lot easier than, it's not easier, it's just more fun to play in my opinion. Okay, that's what I'm using. But once you know how to play the F chord, it literally opens up like 100+ chords for you. Okay, so don't put it on the back burner if you want, but you can do this. But watch the effing F chord, because it will get you to understand how you're going to break down. It's like juggling. If you can juggle 1 ball, which I know you can, then eventually you can juggle 2, and then eventually you can juggle 3. And if you keep practicing, you could juggle 4. Okay, at first, no, but you will get it in time. You've got to get that mindset, and then you just got to do the practice, okay? Okay, so we said C, F, G, right? And then we said, let's capo here, and we got a C, F, G, but we're using the forms A, D, E, right? Now I could move this up again another 2 frets, and I could play a G, a C, and a D, but really we're playing a C, F, G in actuality, because we're playing the same C, F, G down here, but we're using the capo to play in different forms, okay? Now notice we did 1, 2, 3, right? Or 1, 2, 3 different forms so far. 4. So there we did 4 different ways to play those same 3 chords. Okay, now we're going to break this down. Now here's the deal. This isn't just related to this one key. You can do this at least in 3 different keys. And on electric, you could do it comfortably in 2 different keys for sure. But realistically, like 3 different keys minimum. I just did it in 4 different sections. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's make it super easy, and then we'll make it a little bit more complicated for those of you that want that. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. If we're playing a C and an F and a G, right? If we're playing that, and our guitar is tuned to standard tuning, then we're playing a C and an F and a G, right? My in-laws are visiting right now. They got the masks, and everybody's doing social distancing out there, and I don't think they can see me. That's okay, but they're wearing their masks out there. Okay, so we got the C, the F, and the G. Now, if somebody says, so I will see, especially rockers, I love this. I'm a rocker. I was born a rocker. That's why I'm here. So I can say this, okay? It's like if I, you know, whatever. You know how like certain ethnic groups will make fun of their same ethnic group and it's okay, right? Okay, I'm doing that. I'm a rocker, so I can make fun of rockers. Andreas Garcia Jr., thank you for the donation, friend. Appreciate that. Super kind. How's it going? It's going good. So I'm a rocker, so I'm going to make fun of rockers here for a minute. A lot of rockers, they'll say, capos are for wimps, man. Why don't you just play everything open, dude? Like, capos are for wimps. But yet, they only play stuff in the key of E, the key of A, and all those open keys that their favorite rockers play in. But you ask them to play in a sharp or flatted key, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I don't play that, man. I just play in open keys. Yeah, because you can't, because you didn't take the time to figure it out, and you're trying to act like some big badass when in fact you're showing that you can't do it. Okay, so let's be real. A capo is not for losers. That's why the best guitar players in Nashville use capos. And anybody that says that a capo is a crutch is only showing you that they don't know much about guitar. If you ever hear, listen to me, if you are watching right now and you say that a capo is a crutch, say it right now in the chat. I'll mock you. I'll mock you senselessly. Beat you about the head and arms. If you say that a capo is for wimps or that it's for those who don't know what they're doing, it shows that you don't know music theory. It shows that you don't know what you're talking about on the guitar. Because when you see Guthrie Trapp or Bukovac, Tom Bukovac, or any of these other Nashville guitar players using a capo in the studio, and they will play circles around you in their sleep blindfolded, and who's the better player, okay? Capos are there as a tool. You gotta understand that. That's like going to the carpenter and saying, why are you using a hammer to drive that nail? You can easily use your fist. Are you a wimp? No, it's there for you so that you can drive nails all day. You might be able to do that with one nail and mess up your hand. It's a tool. Use your capo, know what it's for. I'm gonna tell you what it's for right now, okay? Sorry to go off on that, but I see people say it all the time and it just irks the crap out of me because you're talking about somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, and they're at the top of their lungs screaming that it's a crutch. It's not a crutch, okay? But you'll see some jackalope say it in here. You watch, okay? Dennis is goofing with me. Okay, so watch this. Okay, we have a song. It's in the key of C. There's a C, there's an F, and there's a G, right? Now, if somebody said to us, okay, and this happens all the time in Nashville, okay, singer comes in, Martina McBride, and she's like, I like this song. I love this song. I love your song. I want to record it. I'm going to make you $1 million, but I don't like that it's in the key of C. And you're like, well, guess what, Martina? Capos are for wimps. So the song's in the key of C. Suck it. And she's like, okay, next song. And you're out, and now you don't get your $1 million. Or you could learn how to use a capo, and you put the capo at the 2nd fret because she wants to sing it in the key of C sharp because she's got a really high voice. So you say, well, Eric told me that capos are for smart people, and so I'm going to capo the 1st fret. Now I'm playing in the key of C sharp, but it still feels like the key of C. Watch. C, F, and G. But we're not really playing in the key of C because playing in the key of C is down here. And she wants to sing, and that's too low for her. She wants to sing, right? That's what she wants to do. So instead of you going, well, I don't know how to play C sharp. Let's see, that's going to be one chord. That's going to be another chord. And this one here. And oh boy, that's difficult. So here would be my chord. Here would be my chord. And here would be my chord. So that's really difficult to do, Martina. I can't do it. Should have listened to Eric and should have learned how to use your capo. Boom, C, F, and G. Now you're good. Now that's the real easy way. But now watch this. We could literally move the capo up to the 2nd fret. Now we're playing in the key of D because this is our root note, right? We went C, C, C sharp, D. So you can add a half step every single time you move the capo up. This is our tonal center, it's a C. But realistically, we're on the D note, so now it's a D chord. And And so everything bumps up a whole step. So now we have a D, a G, and an A. D, a G, and an A. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, so listen. D, G, and A. D, G, A. Look, look. D, G, A. Right? Mind blown, right? So then you go up again. Now you're D sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and you can just keep going like this. Now the great thing about this is you can do this for any feel. So I always say stick in the beginning as a beginner guitar player, stick to the keys of C and G. Friends, we are almost up to 600 folks in here. That would be a new record for us, at least on just like a random day. So if you can, like this video and share it really quick, I would love, that would make my day if we could get 600 people in here at once, all at once. That'd be, oh, we're so close. Please do it. That would be so nice. I would love to see that. Would be one big giant party. Okay. Okay, so we could use this, go up the fretboard, and each time we're going up in a half step. So we could do this if we were playing in the feel of G. So what I mean by the feel of is that if I'm playing C, F, and G, the feel of those chords, if I capo it, I'm not playing in the key of anymore. I'm not playing in the key of C, but I'm playing in the feel of, right? Because it feels like C, F, and G, right? C, F, and G. And it still feels like C, F, and G, but I'm obviously not in that key anymore. Make sense? So we could do this in the feel of G. G, C, and D, and E minor, A minor. And then we put the capo on, and then we got G, C, D, E minor, A minor, but we're not really because we've just gone up a half step. Now we're in G sharp. Now we're in the key of A. Now we're in the key of A sharp because this is our tonal center. We just keep moving up in half steps. Super easy, right? If you want more information about this, it's in the capo key chart that's in UGS. I think it may be in UGS standard. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, right off the top of my head. But nonetheless, it is in UGS Pro, and that one you can get into monthly or lifetime membership, or you can test drive it for $1. You get in there for 30 days, okay? So nonetheless, you can get in there and do that. So, you know, if I had a song that was in the key of E, and let's do this. If I had a song that's in the key of E, right? Hear the train a-coming, rolling around the bend. I see the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. So this is E, A, and B7. So let's say I have that strumming rhythm going on, but I want another guitar part. Okay, so I can do this a few different ways. I might capo it right here so that I'm playing a C chord. And there's my 1, 4, 5 again. So I hear the train a-coming, rolling around the bend, and I might go. So I'm just playing kind of a different part that might go over the top of that. So you can see where this not only helps in songwriting, not only helps in changing the key, changing the way that you play your chords and what have you, but it's also inspirational in what you could play. Make sense? All right, good. Let's get to some questions because we kind of went off on it. We kind of went deep there with that, but that's real important stuff, you know? I think it is. So, all right, let's get to some questions. Oh, thank you, Peter. It's in module 2 of intermediate. It's all about capos in UGS. Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Peter. Still, you can get in there for $1 if you guys want to try that out. For those folks that are just joining us right now, download the PDF. It's the first link to get into UGS for free. It's the second one. Yay, JF, light bulb moment, right? Oh, I love to hear that. That makes me so happy. The light bulb moments, that's what I live for, is when people say, oh, light bulb moment, because that means you're getting it, okay? Beautiful. PDF, first link below, second link below is UGS. You can get in there for free, the first 30, and or you can test drive the whole thing for 30 days for $1, or you can do the monthly memberships lot. You know what to do. You know what to do. Let's answer some questions here, okay? Okay, Jeff, hair's still looking good. We're only on day 4, so let's talk again on day 30, and we'll see how it looks, okay? I'm gonna be with you guys that long, together. Dave, thanks for the donation, friend. Super kind. I really appreciate that. Bright bulb moment, Stafford says. Nice. I think the world lit up. Good. What's the name of your little boy? As it is my birthday tomorrow, I have a little surprise. Jackie Jackson's 10,000. What's up, Jackie Jackson? Who's we chat all the time on Instagram. My boy's name is Eric. Little E. Little Eric. I love it. So my wife wanted to name him Eric, and I was like, okay, I love that. I love it. Capo di capo, meaning boss of bosses in the mafia, speaking for a friend, of course. Frank Doherty. Beautiful. I love it. Good. I'm still having problems singing in the key of C, Marina. So a lot of people think that they have a specific key that they sing in, but it's really song dependent. So you may be having a problem singing in the key of C for a particular song, but it doesn't mean that C is not your key. It just means that that particular, you know, if they're hitting a high C or something like that, you may not be able to sing that. So, Maureen, so here's what you want to do. If you're having a hard time singing in the key of C, then move it up, right? It depends on, is the note too high or is it too low? If it's too low, then move it up and keep moving it up. Now, if it's too high, here is a more advanced lesson for you guys. Watch this. If it's in the key of C and it's too high, try capoing it with this being the tonal center, okay? The G, look, just think about where the bass note's at. Here's a bass note, here's a bass note. So here's, you could hold the G chord here, or you could hold the E chord here, and then you could put your capo right there and play it that way, or you could put your capo right here and play it like a G. So that's what I would suggest. Now you're playing in the key of G. Oh my goodness. Rick, seems to be a connection to the cage system. Beautiful. Rick, number one, thank you so much for the donation. And 100%, it definitely is a connection to the cage system. If you know the cage system, this stuff is going to help you a ton. Okay, so on YouTube, search YourGuitarSage Cage, and I'll guide you through that if you're not in UGS already. Okay, so beautiful. Thank you, Rick. You always are so kind. So kind, bud. So here you are. You're in the key of C, Marina. Or I think it was Marina, right? You're in the key of C still. So now you could work your way down. So this one people don't think about, but now you can work your way down. Okay, still too high. Okay, too high, all right. Now you're eventually gonna find it here in one of these, okay? So what you do is figure out a different place to put your capo, know the cage system, that's gonna help you a lot. The cage system just says that you can play any of the 5 major chords, C, A, G, E, and D. You can play them in different places all over the neck. Once you know this, friends, that is another one of the ninja tricks that will help you navigate the neck and be super, super good at this, okay? Okay, Dexter says, I have a real problem with the D major. Is that normal? It is normal for you at first. Yes, everybody has a problem with every chord at first, with every scale at first. So it's all normal for you to be having problems with it. But with practice, you fix it all, okay? It's just a matter of practice, that's it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Steve. That's so kind, bud. Okay. What innovations in the past 10 years you think are not fads? I tell you what, guitar modeling, and amp modeling. These things are here to stay, and they are bad to the bone. I've said it all the time. I own lots of vintage instruments and you know, all the classic tube amps and stuff like that. I've owned many of them. And I have a Kemper Profiler, and I have a Line 6 modeling guitar alongside of the real stuff. And man, it's pretty uncanny what these things can do. So I think modeling is here to stay, 100%. And it only gets better and better. So I would say that that is an innovation, 100%. Other than that, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what other innovations. I think the shapes of guitars now are changing, and you know, that basic thing. But other than that, I'm not sure what innovations are here to stay. That, for sure, modeling is pretty amazing. Someone's saying, can I play Melagranio? I used to, No, I'm not even going to try to play Malagueña. I'm not even going to try it. I'll slaughter it. I used to play parts of that back in the day. I'm not even going to slaughter it right now. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Francisco, thank you so much for the donation, friend. Al says, I'm not a fan of modeling. Sanitizes the song too much. Al, then you're listening to the wrong modeling, okay? This is a notion that people have that it sucks the sound out. Like I said, Al, I've owned Mesa Boogie, I've owned Marshall, Fender, Black Star. I've owned just about every amp there is, and I love them all, and they're amazing. But any day out of the week, I will take my Kemper over those. I really will. I love them, and I'm a big fan of tube amps. So you got to know how to work them. You got to know what you're doing, as opposed to a tube amp. You just plug in and it sounds good, right? But you only have one sound too. Unstoppable Guitar System is working miracles for me. Besides all the learning it gives me, practice exercises, which has helped a lot. How to extend your third finger to play bar chords, high notes. Francisco's saying. Francisco, let's address that. First, let me get to Christine's question here, because she did do a donation. Christine, thank you so much. Christine and I chat a lot. She's in UGS, so thank you so much. Thank you for all you give. Relative to a major scale, to get a minor scale, we flat the third and the sixth and the seventh, and a minor pentatonic is okay. Okay, so let's talk about it real quick. One way, Christine, that you can think about the minor scale is you're just playing the major scale from the sixth scale degree. So if you were to move that up to the tonic, then all of a sudden you have the minor version of that. So for instance, if we're playing A major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. If we play it from the sixth to the sixth, 1, 7, 6. So now we play 6, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, this is A major. This is F sharp minor. So if we wanted to play A major and we wanted to play A minor, then we take this form and we scooch it up to the A. So here's A major, here's A minor. So the minor scale has the minor 3, or the flat 3, the flat 6, and the flat 7 from the major scale. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this is super easy stuff. It's just that you don't have the tools yet. So you're not going to understand it without the tools. Don't think that you're dumb or that you don't get this stuff. You may not get it today, just like the kid who hasn't learned division yet, but learned addition and subtraction doesn't get division yet, because you hadn't been taught yet. So it's okay. You'll get it, okay? All right, great. Questions. Beautiful. And as far as the whole, half whole, I just don't even think about it that way. I can figure it out, but you're making things harder if you do that, Christine. Do everything according to the major scale. It's going to make everything so much easier, okay? Super easy. There was another question there, and I missed it. I forgot what somebody asked me. Oh, Unstoppable Guitar System is working miracles for me. Besides all the learning it gives me, practicing exercises, which has helped me a lot. How to extend your third finger to play bar chord high notes. So the third finger, right, the ring finger here, we're talking about to play high notes. I'm not sure what you mean by high notes, because you're usually playing the fifth of the chord there. So I'd have to have a little bit more detail as to what you're talking about, because usually it's the pinky that's playing things like 9s and 13s, you know, and 11s. Like that's an 11 chord. That's a 13 right here. Here's a 9. 9, 11, 13. Okay. Okay, we're going to go another 20 minutes here, my friends. There's 520 of you in here. If you haven't already, please like, please share as well, okay? And all the donations, you guys have been so generous today. This is amazing. At the end of this broadcast, we're going to drop a link into for the ZZ Top video, which we dropped yesterday. If you like ZZ Top, if you've seen the new Netflix special and what have you, and you're into ZZ Top, we put, I think, 5 or 6 or 7 of the best ZZ Top licks all together in one video with tablature and everything else. We'll drop a link for that as we get close to the end of this broadcast. You don't want to miss this one, okay? Okay, can you explain what an 11 chord means? Yeah, when we're talking about a 9 chord, a 7 chord, an 11 chord, a 13, we're talking about an interval distance, which an interval is the distance between two notes in regards to proximity, not time. Okay, so if we go from here to here, that's a half step. If we go from here to here, that's a whole step. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's called a major 7. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's a major 6. If I go 1, 2, 3, that's a major 3rd. The 4th and the 5th are called perfect. Don't worry about that. Just know that they are. But everything else in the major scale is major. Unison, major 2, major 3, perfect 4, perfect 5, major 6, major 7. Okay. But when we're talking about like an 11 chord, we're playing through the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I wanted to play an 11th chord, then an 11 chord is a dominant chord, a 7th, a dominant 7th chord, and then we're throwing an 11 in there. So, and if I wanted to play a 9 chord, then I would throw the 9 in there up top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm going to throw it as an octave on the top there. If I was playing a 13, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then, okay, makes sense? Okay. Oh, Brian's saying, don't like twice, it takes the first one away. That is true. I should remind folks that, because I think folks do that sometimes. Yeah, just like it one time. And it should be blue. The thumb up should be blue, and then you'll know that you did it the right way, okay? Thank you. Hi, can you please explain what the 3rd, 5th, 9th, etc. are? Okay, so we just kind of did that. Basically, you're really talking about, you've got to know the major scale, friends. You got to know the major scale. Watch the free program I'm giving you today. Second link below. UGS Standard. Getting it today. Understand the construction of the major scale linearly across one string. Know it across the fretboard. Know your intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Know that, because that is how you're going to embellish chords, all the jazz chords, all that stuff. That's how you're going to do this, okay? And so if we're talking about a 1, 3, 5, we're talking about the 1, the 3, and the 5 from the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get it? So 1, 3, 5, or 1, 3, 5. And then if we put in other 1, 3s, and 5s, we get a major chord. Okay? Good. Great. Oh, thank you so much. Over 500. You guys rock. Love it. Thank you. Bill, thanks for the kind words, friend. Oh, love it. You guys rock. Thank you so much for all the great advice about picking out a guitar that's right for me and not worrying about what the brand is or if the back and side are solid wood. I love my new, to me, acoustic. Yes, so we talked about this yesterday. It's like, at the end of the day, people say, oh man, Eric, tell me what the best is. And they're looking for brand names and all this other stuff. It doesn't always pan out that way. So like you could buy a crappy Gibson and a Chibson that plays decent. Like seriously, I've bought no-name brand guitars that played great and sounded great, and I bought expensive branded name guitars that didn't play so great. Now, usually as a rule of thumb, you know, there's a reason that a company like Gibson and Fender has a reputation. But over the years, they've also bastardized much of their products. They've made cheaper models and what have you, and you can get a hold of these, right? Not Gibson so much, although I've bought some bad Les Pauls before. I've also bought great Epiphones. So again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the name brand is. It doesn't matter how expensive the guitar is. The only thing that matters is, can you afford it? Do you like the way it sounds? Do you like the way it plays? And that stuff you can figure out yourself. You got $1,000 in your pocket, you know you're just going to play the $1,000 guitars, unless you want an education in the expensive guitars, which is not a bad idea. Go do that. But you can only afford a $1,000 guitar, so just buy the $1,000 play the $1,000 guitars and then be done with it, okay? And then the feel and the sound, those are the important things. What does it matter what I like? What I like, you may not like. We talked about it earlier. I do not like Ovation guitars. Somebody else said I don't like them either. Somebody else said I love my Ovation. So what matters is, do you like the guitar? Does it speak to you? For the same reason is, I'll see people's wives and I'll go, whew, I'm glad I'm not married to her, right? I'm glad I'm married to the one that I got. I love that one. And so you may see somebody else's wife and say the same thing, right? It's okay, it's all personal preference, and thank goodness, otherwise we'd all be going after the same girl, or the same guy, or the same guitar, or the same car, whatever. So it's good, we have different opinions. Marco coming in with a donation from Florida, my home state. Thank you so much, Marco A. From Florida with love, keep on keeping on. Beautiful. Stu Boy, light bulb gets brighter on keys. Thanks, rock on. Stu Boy, thanks, my friend. Man, you guys are killing it with the donations today. Dear Lord, what is going on today? Beautiful. Thank you so much. The crew thanks you. I owe them a few lunches. We got to go out to lunch when we get back, when all this settles out, which it will, friends. It'll settle out. Does UGS have some simulated pedal steel licks? So I talk about this a little bit, but I don't have like per se a whole course on this. But yeah, like, you know, using some double stop type of, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, we've got these, and also there's a whole double stop section which is kind of related to this. But there are guys that are really into that teach that stuff really well, using B benders and stuff like that, a different type of guitar. But there's only a handful of them. Most of them you probably could get for free on YouTube. You don't really need a whole course on that per se, I wouldn't think. I've only found a handful of them. I'm a left-handed guitar player, and I have a right-handed guitar. In lockdown, should I just start learning or wait till I get out in a left-handed guitar, restring it? No, start now. Play right-handed. Here's why. I tell folks this all the time. Whether you're playing as a righty or you're playing as a lefty, it's really not going to make much of a difference whatsoever. Mentally, now, if you can get over this mental bit, when you have issues playing as a righty, even though you're a lefty, if you have issues playing this way, as long as you don't gravitate, as long as you're not an excuse person. What I mean by that is if you go, this is difficult because I'm playing as a righty. No, it's difficult because it's a guitar and it's a new thing that you're doing. And it is for everybody. It was for Hendrix, it was for Jimmy Page, it was for Eddie Van Halen, it was for me, it was for Django Reinhardt, it should be for you. Why shouldn't it be for you? If it was a struggle for the best guitar players in the world, why wouldn't guitar be a struggle for you? So get that mindset out of your head that it's difficult because you're this way or that way. It's just, it's a challenge either way. But why to play as a righty is that there's so many righty guitars. There's not a lot of lefty guitars out there, okay? And so you go to a party or you go to a shop or whatever, there's a million lefties, or a million righties, there's only like 2 lefties. And that can be frustrating, all right? Dominic, thank you so much again, coming in with a donation all the time. Dominic, you've been so kind. Thank you. Take over a lunch bill. Thank you, buddy. So kind, friend. So yeah, start today. Start today as a righty. If at the end of this 30 days you're like, no, I'm going to try lefty, I guarantee you're going to be better as a righty because you've been doing it already, and you're going to try this and it's going to feel weird to you. So just trust me on that. Even if, okay, you're not going to waste any time by doing this. It's proven that if you use both sides of your brain, it creates neural paths that instead of just doing one thing, which is why I brush my teeth with my left hand now instead of my right hand. I'll do other things like that too to exercise my brain, to force it to do things, because it will absolutely build new synapses, unlike just doing it the same way all the time. If you do it the same way, you're not challenging your brain at all, right? So I promise you, at the end of these 30 days, you will end up going, wow, I've got this. And then you'll try to switch it, and you'll be like, no, it doesn't feel right. Boom, you've already learned, okay? You're getting this. Scarescapes, $20 donation. Good night, friends. You are so beautiful. Thank you, and I love that crazy little avatar dude. James Power, donation. Thank you so much, friends. Well, this makes it even more fun to do these live broadcasts. I love doing this with you guys. So, so super kind. Thanks for all the lessons, the first 30. Yay, Scarescapes is in there, beautiful. And friends, if you don't know, I answer questions in there every single day, even in that free program. I'm answering questions for you guys because I want you to get through this. You know, many years ago, I went from wanting to be to be the best guitar player that I could be. I still want to be that, but I realistically know that with a family and with a business and building videos and what have you for you, my time can only go in so many different directions, and the majority of my heart and my spirit and everything goes to getting other people to play now, and I love to see that light go on. So I love to see stuff like this where you guys are like, I'm getting it, the light bulb moment's on, yeah, love it, love it, love it. So I'm all about that. Thank you for the donation, super kind. Okay, let's get into some more here. We're going to go at least another 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn you on to this ZZ Top video. If you haven't seen it yet, it's flipping fun. It's super cool, and we'll teach you a ton. I've got the tabs in there and everything else, okay? Yeah, someone's saying, amazing how after all these years, the Strat and the Les Paul are still the standard by which most other electrics are judged. Indeed, and Jim, my guitar tech, Greg Ellis, told me this, that, you know, in the 50s, 60s, the Les Paul was not a very popular guitar, or at least earlier on. There was a time when they stopped making the Les Pauls because they just weren't popular. That's why in 1960, they stopped production on the Les Paul as we know it, and the new Les Paul came out known as the SG. It was literally called the Les Paul. You can find SGs that say Les Paul at the top. Because that was the new Les Paul. And they're like, no. Les Paul's like, no, don't do that. Les Paul's a Les Paul. This is the SG, solid guitar. Let's do that. I think that's why they call it SG, solid guitar, I'm pretty sure. And then the next year, they named it the SG. But it took a few years for people to realize how cool Les Pauls were, because for whatever reason, maybe they were so heavy, or they weren't actually that heavy in the beginning. Later on, in the 60s and 70s, they became very heavy. But yeah, pretty crazy, right? Hey everybody, I just started playing again after leaving it behind for 10 years. Any hints for rebuilding left hand muscles? The lady Olina, Tyrell. Yes, do exercise number 1 and the 24 different variations that I have for you. That's inside the free course, second link below. Do that, lady Olina. I promise you, you're gonna get this very quickly. But then move to songs as quickly as possible. Those exercises are there for you to give you some confidence, to get you rolling and what have you. It's just like warming up for a workout, or warming up for going on stage vocally or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's all about songs. People don't really care about exercises. They don't want to see their favorite artists play exercises. They want to see them play songs that move them and inspire them. Same thing for you. So get to playing songs as quickly as possible, okay? It is why it's called an SG. Okay, Marco, thank you so much. Thank you for confirming that. If you're hearing people talk out there, those are my in-laws stopping by. Social distancing, they got their masks on. All right, yes. Beautiful. If you're just joining us right now, download the PDF, link 1. Get into UGS for free. Link 2, there's a link where you can get in there for free, okay? Right. All right, let me get to some more of these questions here. Yeah, and also when you restring the guitar, it's not just restringing it. You're gonna have to change the nut. You're gonna have to change the bridge. There's a lot to it. So, and you can't do that right now, okay? So you can't just restring it. So Hankster, 100% don't do that. It's not gonna work. I mean, you could put strings on it, but it's gonna be all jacked up because the nut, look, watch this. Do you see the nut? You see the thick strings there? You see how they're thicker than the thin strings? And do you see how the nut, where it's cut, is thicker? It's wider than where the nut is cut for the thin string. So if you flip the strings upside down, now you got the thick string here, and it's sitting on top of that thin little bit there. It's not down, so it's going to be super high off the fretboard, and your thin string is going to move around here, and all the other ones are going to be jacked up too. So for sure, don't do it. Learn to play as a righty for this month. If you need help out, if after a month here of sitting with me, I promise you, you're going to be a righty player. And then later on, if you decide that you want to try it as a lefty, you're going to try it and you're going to be like, no, I'm doing great at this, okay? I promise you, okay? Phil saying, I played as a right-handed guitar from 1961 after an accident that damaged my left hand. Some 10 years ago, I went to being a left-handed guitar player with the desire, you can do anything. And 100% Phil, see, Phil gets it, man. When you have that desire, when you are either forced into a situation like now, you will find that you can do all sorts of things. It's just that a lot of times it takes us being forced into a situation to prove ourselves, right? This is why people who go through war, go through these situations that are unfathomable, they end up rising up because they're forced to be in a situation that it's either sink or swim, and then all of a sudden they realize their greatness. But when we have so much luxury all the time, we forget about this power that is within us, and we get really lazy, and we say things like, I can't do that, I tried to play guitar and I couldn't play guitar. Wah. Really? Okay, well, if that works for you and that makes you happy to stay immersed in that excuse and to never play guitar, then don't let me stop you from living a completely mediocre life, and don't let anybody else stop you. It's your 100% prerogative to live in complete mediocrity. And don't let anybody stop you. It's your damn right. Or you can frickin' believe me that you have an unstoppable, absolutely eternal spirit within you that is very powerful. Yes, you're limited physically here in this physical realm, but you have the ability to do anything that you want if you set your mind to it, you know. See it, follow all the inspirations, all the people throughout time who have done this, and don't listen to the people that aren't productive, because they got a mindset of I can't, excuse, gimme, want. It's all the stuff that Dickens talked about, right, in A Christmas Carol. It's that laziness. What is it? Want? What were the two spirits, hun? Want and need, or yeah, I don't know. Something like one of them was I don't know, but you've seen the story. That attitude that it permeates the world. There's those that believe that, and then there's those that understand that believe. There's those that believe that they can't. There's those that believe they can. They're both right, right? Hey Eric, love your stuff. The G string on my Les Paul seems to stick out a bit over the others. Is that an intonation issue? Suggestions on a fix. Seems to stick out a bit. Do you mean stick out a bit over the top? If it does, that's not intonation. That has to do that the nut needs to be cut correctly. That's all that is. So take that to a luthier. When all this is done, take it to a luthier and have them cut that nut to where that string fits in there really nicely. They should look at all the other strings too, and that should help with intonation and tuning issues so that the strings aren't being pinched inside of the nut. Okay, I know, joke away. You don't want your nut pinching anything. All right? Someone said, okay, you can be my meditation teacher. So I do meditate, but I'm probably not your meditation teacher. I think there's those that are probably better than me at it. But I did give you some links inside that PDF that would help. I think people are just having a good day and they want to donate to you. Yeah, it's really quite beautiful, Julie. I love it. It's super kind. All right, let's get to one more question. Before we do that, I'm going to get to one more question. Before we do that, a couple things before we go. Number one, Jason just posted the link to the ZZ Top video. Okay, so click on that. You can go to another tab and watch that in just a minute here. Don't forget, I want you guys to watch that because it's super fun if you like ZZ Top, right? But before you do that, really quickly, friends, rundown. I'm going to be with you every single day, including Saturday, today, and Sunday, every day for the month of April for our 30-day guitar challenge. If you're just joining us here. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day, I'll be live with you. The first hour is going to be a beginner lesson. The second hour is going to be advanced lesson, and then, of course, Q&A. And I'm following the protocol right here that is in the PDF, which is the very first link below this video. So download that. It's absolutely free. And then you'll know what it is we're doing every day. Maybe you're going to skip one of these. No, you're not. You're going to show up every day, right? You're going to show up every day because I'm walking you through the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, which is available to everybody today for free. If you're not in this already and you have questions about guitar, I would bet $1,000 that it's covered in that series, okay? There's PDFs in there. I walk you through it step by step so that you leave nothing uncovered. People say all the time, how do I do this step by step? You do it step by step through the program I'm giving you today. And I'm going to walk you through this. So for 30 days, if you're following this, I'm literally doing this in order. So this is day 4-ish. I've curtailed this slightly differently than what the lessons are in there. Some of them I've combined and stuff because actually there's 30-something lessons in there, okay? So I'm going to guide you through that every single day, and then we have something for advanced players in there as well. So number 1, download the PDF. Number 2, go to the second link in there. Get in UGS, either the paid version if you want, that's fine, the free version if you want, whatever makes you happy. I've got like 1,300 videos for free here on YouTube. So if you don't want to get into any programs and you just want to continue to hop around on videos on YouTube, I don't suggest it, but if you desire that, everybody's in a different place, then you've got that as well. So like for instance, if you wanted to learn Elvis, search YourGuitarSage Elvis. Or if you want to learn Beatles, search YourGuitarSage Beatles. I have lots and lots of videos for you, okay? What else? Oh, if you haven't already, like this video. If you liked it already, don't click it. It should be a blue thumbs up button. Don't click it again because then you'll unclick it, all right? So just click the thumbs up one time. And before you go, share this with a friend if you would. Let's let other folks know about this. I want to get as many people into this 30-day guitar challenge as possible. Folks need some positive energy right now, and hopefully I can be just a little bit of that for you. In that PDF, I have some other things that are very positive that will enlighten you, help enlighten you, us, the world during this time. Friends, I promise you, this time that we're in right now is very unique, and we are going to see amazing things come from it. I know you're not hearing that on the news. That doesn't sell. We're getting the stuff that we're getting from the news, but I promise you, we're going to see massive, amazing things come from this. I'm already seeing it in all the circles that I'm running, and I see it. It's going to happen. It is happening. Watch. Okay? What else? There was one of, oh yeah, here, the YouTube video for ZZ Top. Here it is right now. I'm going to ask Jason to drop that in there again. Go check it out right now if you like ZZ Top. For all those folks that gave donations today, what was the total? It was a lot. You guys donated so much today. It was just crazy. Let me see what this is. Oh, I can't even tell. It was a lot though. Oh, here it is. $385. Minus, of course, what YouTube takes out, which is quite a bit. I think it's like 30%. But that's what they do. And I appreciate YouTube making this available so that we can keep the lights on and everything else. Guys, thank you so much to my UGS crew, Jason, Mike, Emily. Thank you so much. You guys rule. And for all the likes and thumbs up, thank you so much. Okay, guys, have a great day. I'll see you. I'm out of here. See you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.